What's up, Sat? Thanks for doing this. Obviously, it's silly season. There's a lot of defections. I mean, how difficult does it make it to prepare what you want to do when your running back leaves and then you have a quarterback switch kind of in the middle?
It's not something you want to be used to, but we're kind of used to it at this point, playing the amount of guys that we played at every position. This is when it comes in valuable. This is nothing new for our guys. We're used to change. They didn't flinch. They've handled it nicely. Had a great week of practice last week and started off North Carolina prep today with a good start.
So what would you like to see moving forward from this offense in the bowl game in terms of growth from the end of the regular season until now?
Just take care of the football. Our defense has caused enough turnovers for us to lead the country in turnover margin, but we're still just like +1. So, we got to take care of the football. We got to win a one-on-one battle, block. If you're assigned a guy to block them and win the block more than you lose the block. And just play clean and have some production. We've got to when we get out there, when we get in position to score points, we've got to put the ball in the end zone. And how we do that, we run the ball. So the games that we played nicely or played well on, we've ran the football. So I want to sit in long answer short. I want to be able to run the football, take care of it, and block guys.
Sad you kind of been through it before, but with Jason out, Zeb in. First of all, how's Zeb's health? How's his mobility on that knee, and how much does that change what you can do from that spot?
Jason gave us an element, a little bit more mobility, could extend plays. Zeb kind of, he gets back there. He's healthy, first of all, to answer your question, but, he's not going to be able to extend like Jason does. He's going to have to make his plays with his arm like he's shown that he can do already, earlier this season. So it's going to change a little bit. You'd like to have the availability to have a guy that could run a little bit, but, Zeb's going to go out there and fight and give us what he can.
Marcus, I know you're focused on this bowl game, but you guys also made some pretty big additions to the quarterback room for next year. Just curious for your take on those three guys, how it played out, and just kind of your thoughts on them and what they bring to you guys.
Very fortunate, very, very fortunate to get. Once you get an elite quarterback, one elite quarterback, that's pretty cool. To get two, that's really cool, and then to get three, that's unreal. That's unreal, and all three of them, Spencer, obviously, just from the standpoint of being a little bit older guy, he's been through this before. But the other two just they didn't flinch. You call. I'm not gonna name names, but call one of them and say, "Hey, we're taking this quarterback," and he says, "Great, let's make the room as good as as good as it can be. I'm gonna put my head down and work. I'm gonna take care of myself." And just the competitive spirit he had whenever he said that. And then for Tanner, who we added on late in the class, like he's just so fired up. We recruited him really, really hard at the beginning, and he went to Oregon, had some ties with that coaching staff. And I think, we're really excited, and he's really excited to get back. And he needs to be playing in the SEC. He's an SEC kid. His dad, his grandparents, and SEC guys. So we're really excited about where that room's going and how that's going to help change, at least what we look like offensively for the good.
I think you guys signed 3 offensive linemen in this class so far. Just what do you like about that group, and how important was it to kind of help bolster some things on the offensive line in this class?
Obviously it's huge. That's where you, as we've seen, if you struggle up front, you're going to struggle globally as an offense. So we had to make sure that we got the right guys, guys that love football, guys that are competitive, guys that have a good brain, good work ethic, and all those guys fit, they fit what we're looking for. They've got size, they've got toughness, they've got athleticism. And, hopefully they can get in here sooner rather than later and start getting ready, because they're going to have to, come and produce for us pretty early.
Marcus looking way ahead here, but what have you talked with Spencer, since he committed? What do you know about him? Have you kind of dealt with him one-on-one in the past?
I have. I haven't had, I wouldn't say that I've dealt with him in any way, but, we've had conversations, off and on, and talking to his quarterback coach out in Arizona, who does a really nice job, just making sure that he's familiar with me, I'm familiar with him, my expectations, his expectations, and that's been awesome. When we started talking, I told him, I was like, everybody in the country thinks you stink as a quarterback, and everybody in the country thinks I stink. So let's go at it, and let's with the biggest chips on our shoulders that we possibly can get, and let's go attack this thing every single day. And we've kind of bonded, and I think that, I'm excited to get him here, excited to go to work. But I think, just the toughness and the mindset that he has right now is so much different than it was last year going into this, last season when he's a Heisman Trophy candidate. I think he's got a toughness about him that nobody's seen to date and what he's going to be able to do.
Sticking with Spencer and Taylor and Braden, how nice is it to have a guy like Tanner come in and want to come to you guys so late in the class? And with Spencer, just how much does his skill set maybe mirror what Luke Doty does, and how you can kind of maybe tailor the offense to him or a quarterback run game if he is the starter?
Spencer, I think Spencer is my selling point to him, and we had a couple NFL quarterbacks that helped us and reached out. Just the importance of playing in a system where you huddle sometimes, and you have play calls, and you have to have a cadence, just preparation for the next level. I mean, obviously, Spencer's a really good player, and we're going to make him as good as we possibly can, but he's got to come and experience something new to prepare him for the next level. And I think just the fact that we're an NFL pro-style system, he's going to be able to come and get acclimated to that. And, when his time comes, whether it be 1 year or 2 years, he'll be ready to roll when he gets into that rookie minicamp. I think that was huge and very appealing for him. But he looks, to me, he's going to look a lot like Baker Mayfield. And I say this because I told him I'm sorry. I'm not really trying to just, compare him to Oklahoma guys, but athletic guy that gets under center sometimes, just the explosiveness he'll show from under center with his play pass and his keeper game. I think that he's going to be able to do some really nice things. He's got great ball skills, which in quarterback world, just how he handles the ball with handoffs and fakes and things of that nature. So I think his creativity is going to improve, and I'm anxious to see him. I think he's a little different than Luke. Just, Luke's more of a, you can run some zone read and stuff. Spencer's not that much, he can run and he can extend plays and he's mobile, but he's not really a big zone read type guy. All your questions get me rambling. I'm sorry.
When you look at Zeb in the season he's had, just from on the field and off the field and kind of the story that it is, what will you think back on when you look back to this season with him specifically?
Gratefulness, and then with him, just how impressive. I mean, that's hard. Like he just finished playing, but to be able to flip from I'm going to be a coach to be a player, to have to acclimate himself into the locker room, for guys to trust him that he's not a coach, that he's actually a player, to getting back in shape, to playing quarterback in the SEC. I mean, that's really, really tough, and to get banged up while he was doing it. I mean, I'll remember him forever as just the mental and physical toughness that it took for him to do what he's done, and just so grateful that if we wouldn't have had him, I mean, he's the difference in a lot of games that we have won. Just having his presence out there, and having the ability to push the ball down the field against Vanderbilt in 2 minutes and win the game there at the end. So very grateful and if they ever do a movie, it'll be a nice one. He's a tough kid.
I just wanted to follow up again on Braden Davis and what you think of him and his skill set. I know Coach Beamer was saying he's really great running, and it seems like his arm strength has improved and all that. Just what do you make of him and his progress and where he needs to develop?
He has an unbelievable ceiling. I mean, he's still got ways to go, which is scary because he's really, really, really talented. I mean, you're the Delaware player of the year. He's 6'4.5", 6'5". This time next year, he's going to be 215, 220 pounds, and people are going to be like, where did this guy come from? He's got a really, really nice arm. He's very accurate. He processes well. He's a very smart kid. He's an engineer type kid, so he's got a big brain on him. He's got great work ethic, and he's just confident. And I'm really excited to get him here in January, let him get started in the offense. He can run all the zone read stuff and have the elegance, you might say, as a drop back passer. But he's just got, leadership, aura, everything, just ready to get him here, ready to get him in the program and start, just coaching him. And I know he's excited. I'm excited to get him here.
Well, sad, like I said, it's silly season, so Jordan leaves, Brown leaves. You got three quarterbacks coming in. What have you talked about with Luke during this time when he's healing up, and has he said anything about, well, I don't know what I'm going to do?
No, Luke's unbelievable. Like, he doesn't care. Luke's going to come out and compete and do what he does, and he's not going to shy away from any competition. And I think it's been impressive. Like, where some guys have flinched and maybe taken it the wrong way, Luke just keeps going and just keeps showing up in meetings. And I mean, that's great. Let's load this thing up. Let's get the best players we can possibly get in here. Hey, thank you, guys. It's been built up. Now this is a big question.
just general question about the running backs. Obviously, Z White brought a lot of energy throughout the season, but I guess a little different now that he's not with the group. What are you looking for with that group?
Yeah, I mean, we miss him a lot. Like just what he did at the end of the year, just starting in that Florida game, just like you said, the energy at practice, the energy in the game, energy in the locker room. Coach talked about that today. Like there's people in the room just not in the team meeting that were in the meeting. At the end of the season, we've got to come together, and people have to start picking up the slack for those guys that aren't here. So, the guys have answered the bell. Like Juju is just as energetic as he is. Maybe not as energetic, but close. So Juju's doing a nice job of making sure the competitive spirit's there in that room. The competitive spirit on the sidelines, offensively is there during practice. So we're definitely going to miss him, but I think we have enough, luckily, guys in that room that can play at a high level that they'll be able to fill in the slack. But we do miss them being around. Thank you all very much.